Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of Courtside with Shivam and Mailee. I'm your host, Shivam Patel, coming to you live from chilly San Antonio, Texas. And my co-host, Mailee Jones, also coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas. And I can't tell you how excited we are to be here today. We have such an awesome show planned for you today. We're going to talk about the GLeague Bubble, or the Gubble as they like to call it, Austin Spurs, GLeague Select Team. We'll also talk about the San Antonio Spurs, and they're really doing better than what we all thought. They're in the playoff picture right now. Yes. Then we'll have a college basketball recap, both on the men's and women's side. And our lifestyle and culture section, we're going to be talking about basketball shoes. Mailee's going to show her favorite basketball shoes. I'm going to show mine. So everybody in the audience, if you have favorite basketball shoes that you like and that are your favorite, please put them in the comment section below, and they may appear live on the show. And lastly, for our inspiring stories, we're going to be talking about female NFL ref Sarah Thomas. So Mailee, how are you?
I am doing not so good, Shivam. Thank you for asking. And I only say that because it is so cold outside. You guys, where I live, my apartment, it is very warm. In Vietnam, it is so warm. And Shivam and I were just going over the weather right before the show, and the high is 30, the low is 7 degrees. You guys, if you live in San Antonio, Texas, this is not okay.
Right.
I'm not doing okay. I'm like sleeping in a snowsuit because it's so cold outside. I was working out in the gym today. Oh my gosh, that cold air, my red was nose in the gym. Shivam, I'm going to get through it, but I'm just not okay with this weather at all.
Right. I've just been trying to stay inside as much as possible because this weather is not good. We're not used to this in South Texas. The worst it usually gets in the winter is like in the 50s or 60s. And we think that's cold, or at least I think that's cold. So this is not okay. Just have the heater on blast and just trying to stay as warm as possible, Mailee. But ladies and gentlemen, I also wanted to wish everybody a happy Chinese New Year. I know it was yesterday. 2021 is the year of the ox, and I know, Mailee, you celebrated the Chinese New Year with your family. So kind of tell us how that was like yesterday.
Yeah, so I went to my Bang Wai's house, which is grandmother in Vietnamese, and we celebrated Tet holiday, which is the same thing as Chinese New Year's, but Vietnamese edition. And so we went over there. I went in my traditional Al Yai, which I'm wearing right now. I had a little bit. This one was custom made. It's not really the traditional Vietnamese pattern, but I really liked it, and I picked it out and had it made, and it looks really nice. So I thought I'd share this outfit with you guys today. But yes, we went over there. We took pictures in our Al Yai. We ate some Vietnamese food, some chai, fried noodles. It was really good. I took some pictures. I don't know if this is in other Asian countries, but in Vietnam, when we celebrate Tet holiday, we give our family members like a little red envelope with money in it. And what you do is you kind of like Christmas, you exchange envelopes to one another, and you tell them what your wishes are for 2021. So I wished all my family members happy Tet holiday. I'm wishing you guys health, wealth, and prosperity throughout 2021. I know 2020 was no words for anybody, but hopefully 2021 is going to be better. But yeah, that's what we did. It was really exciting. My parents actually got to experience this holiday with us, so that was even more special because usually I'm in Vietnam with my grandparents.
Right.
COVID didn't have that option this year, but we all got to celebrate. It was really fun, and now we get to share with you guys.
Right. That's awesome, Mailee, being able to have the family time. Those moments are invaluable, So,
right, of course.
So that's great. Again, I'm going to wish everybody out there a happy Chinese New Year. It's a year of the ox. Let's hope, we have a great 2021 for everybody. But let's get started with the content portion of our program, Mailee. The pleasantries are out of the way now. Now it's time for the debate. So let's talk about the NBA segment. The San Antonio Spurs, Mailee. My God, they had a complete blowout win against the Atlanta Hawks last night. They were up 77-48 at the half, Mailee. Yes, you heard that right, 77-48. It was an annihilation. DeMar DeRozan played really well, 23 points. The Spurs were basically shooting the ball in the ocean. That net looked huge, and they were just making everything. It made it rain in Atlanta, Mailee, and it was a great overall performance by the Spurs last night.
Yeah, I mean, the Spurs coming out, 4th or 5th in the West. It's really good. Having Gay and DeMar DeRozan and having a really good shooting night, I mean, that's what's going to happen. And for you guys who don't know, Shivam's other show, Patel and Kumar, NBA talk show, had a Spurs, the first current NBA player on that Indian talk show. So it was really good. That was exciting. So now we're just in the Spurs vibe right now, Shivam. So if you guys didn't get a chance to check that out on Patel Pick and Roll Sports YouTube channel. I tuned in. It was really good. So, but the Spurs are really doing well.
Right. And thank you, Mailee, for that plug. And yes, we did have, Kelton Johnson, who's a second-year player, guard, on the Spurs yesterday on the Patel and Kumar show, which is the other show that I co-host. So we're going to show a quick little snippet of that interview with Kelton Johnson. So let's roll the tape. Question for you, Kelton. PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
Nice. Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty?
Call of Duty, sure.
Go ahead, Mr. Kumar.
Headphones or boombox?
Ooh.
Boombox.
All right. Barbecue or Tex-Mex?
I'm gonna go with barbecue.
All right. So, Kelton, I know, with Rahul being your agent, you tried some, Indian food. So what are some of your top favorite Indian foods that you tried?
I really don't know the names, but I feel like that Rahul and Miss Brittle, they really got me cultured. I feel like they have me trying a lot of different dishes. But I couldn't really pick out one.
He tried it all. I'll tell you, he'll eat everything. It's hard for him to pick a favorite when it comes to food.
Have you started cooking any Indian food yet?
No, not yet. I'm down to learn though. I feel like why not? I'll try it.
Soon, Kelton, you're going to be cooking Indian food for the entire Spurs team.
Hey, I'm saying this now. I'm probably like Gordon Ramsay when it comes to cooking. I'm pretty good at cooking.
Oh man! All right, Mr. Kumar, go ahead with the continue the rapid fire.
Yeah, pickup truck or sports car?
Pickup truck for sure.
All right. Windows up while driving or windows down?
Depending on the weather, but mostly windows down.
All right. As a Spurs fan, I got to ask you this, Kelton. What Spurs legend have you personally been inspired by?
All of them. I feel like
good answer.
Pick one. Like it's so many that had so many amazing careers, and they affected the game in so many different ways.
Right.
So, who's the funniest Spurs player that you currently play with?
Drew Eubanks.
All right. Craziest rookie ritual you had to do last year?
Honestly, I didn't really even have to do anything like too crazy. I feel like I brought wings to the plane and a couple times, but other than that, it was nothing really crazy. Our vets were cool.
All right.
So what's the funny nickname that you've been named yet?
The Mustang, big body. Roland, am I missing any?
Oh man, you got tornado. You got. Yeah, I think I heard the hurricane the other day. You name it, right? He can shoot. You name it. He's got a bunch of.
Oh man! So again, that's a little snippet from the interview, and again, you can watch the full interview on the Patel Pick and Roll Sports YouTube channel, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Patel Pick and Roll Sports YouTube channel. And remember, Spurs fans, All-Star voting is through February 16th, and today and the 16th, the votes count double. So go vote for your favorite Spurs players for the All-Star game. You can just go to nba.com/All-Star to go and vote. But again, Mailee, regarding the game, Kelton Johnson again had a really nice game. You know, he was very aggressive. I just love the way that, you know, he uses that big body. That's why his nickname, you know, because he just overpowers everybody, and he can shoot a little bit. And the Spurs were doing a great job, you know, with ball movement, player movement. On the defensive end, they did a great job of really making it tough on Trae Young. Every time he would go on the pick and roll, they would trap him. When he wasn't on the pick and roll, he had the ball in the wing. Every time he would try to drive to the basket, they would always the help defender and make him see multiple bodies and kick it out and try to force other players to beat them besides Trae Young.
Yeah, and, you know, even the most recent game, Kelton Johnson had 20 points. I mean, just really, really good. But I'm still laughing at the video when you guys asked them about the Indian food. That was
man.
Yeah, and I just say it's really funny because, you know, for our viewers and definitely our international viewers, you know, you definitely want to try new foods and everything. And so, you know, just ask a question, you know, if, I think your co-host said, you know, would you cook or have you started cooking Indian food? That was definitely hilarious. So I had a really good time watching that. But back to our storylines. Yes, Spurs did really well. Containing Trae Young, who is a phenomenal player. I mean, to do that is huge, but really good for the Spurs fans.
Right. And right now they're 6th in the West. You know, they're in the playoffs. We can't complain. The Atlanta Hawks are no joke, ladies and gentlemen. They are right now a top 8 team in the Eastern Conference. And they've had a lot of injuries. You know, Bogdan Bogdanovic, or prize free agent's been out. Chris Dunn has been out. DeAndre Hunter, who's been balling this season. The Hawks are a legit team, and I think it was a great win, you know, for the Spurs. And before we wrap up this Spurs section, we have one more part of the interview that we wanted to show y'all. This time, we're not the rapid fire, but we asked. There were some fan questions asking Kelton about his favorite Spurs Spurs players and his favorite championships. So let's just roll the tape real quick before we move on to our next section. Championship out of the 5.
I want to say it was 99, I believe, with Tim Duncan. Of course, I was born in 99, but you know, you go back and you look at the old highlights and stuff like that.
Right. Also, Mitchell is asking you, how do you stay motivated to stick to the grind, you know, after such a long season and so many games coming like really fast this year? How do you stay motivated?
I feel like, you know, just having the opportunity there. I feel like that the ball is kind of in my court when I step out on the court every night. So I feel like that with such a big opportunity there, why not seize it and make the best of it?
Yeah, right. And another fan is saying, say hi to Pops, huge Ginobili fan here. And a viewer is asking you, kind of tell us more about Greg Popovich's coaching, you know? So how is his, like, you know, coaching style, and what do you think about this year being coached by him?
It's truly a blessing, honestly. I feel like that it's hard to describe it unless you go through it, but I think the best way to put it is like he's like everything you can ask for into a coach, you know. And it's not just on the court; it's off. I feel like he helped me become a better basketball player, but also a better young man in society today. So I feel like that he's very motivating, very encouraging. And I feel like that. I mean, he always lets you know that he believes in you.
Yeah.
Have you ever got yelled by Coach Pop yet?
Definitely 100%. 100%.
I feel like that's for every player. You know, you just, no matter who you are, you know, Pop is you're gonna get a chewing from Coach Pop.
Definitely 100%.
All right, so we got another comment asking Tim Duncan or the Admiral David Robinson, Kelton.
Oh man, I can't pick one. They're both great players.
You can't go wrong with either. No, I definitely agree. So if you were to have a superpower while playing basketball, what would you pick? Invisibility or super speed? Ooh, good question.
Super speed.
All right, just be like Flash. Just go down the court and just go dunk on everybody. Just beat everybody down the court.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Oh man. Well, thank you, Kelton, so much, Mr. Party. Any lasting questions?
You said what? Repeat that.
No, I just wanted to say thank you, Kelton, so much for coming on. It was an honor to have you on. You're the first NBA player to come on the Patel and Kumar show. Best of luck this season, Kelton. Safe travels. I know you're all about to go on a road trip. Good luck. And go Spurs, go.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
One last question before you go. You got to choose. Is it Patel or is it Kumar?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to go with both. Both are amazing.
Kelton, you have to pick me. I'm a Spurs fan in San Antonio. Mr. Kumar's a Lakers fan. So you've got
I got to go with the Spurs. I got to go with the Spurs fan, you know. I can't. That was the game changer right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Whichever team that LeBron goes to. I mean that's how because I was in Ohio in 2003 when he drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers. So of course, so for me, I'm a huge LeBron fan.
Oh, okay. That's understandable.
Well, thank you, Kelton, so much for coming on. And one last question: dunk over LeBron or buzzer beater over Jordan?
Buzzer beater over Jordan, because that means I'm winning the game.
So again, be sure to go vote Kelton Johnson and your favorite Spurs players. Today, the 13th, when the votes count double, and then the 16th, I go to nba.com/all-star vote. But again, that puts an end to the Spurs section. And moving on, Mailee, let's talk about the Gubble, which again, the Gubble is the G League Bubble, which is also in Florida at Walt Disney World Resort. And Mailee, let's talk about the G League Select team, Mailee. They're 2-0. They're playing right now as we speak on ESPN Plus. So we'll see if they can be 3-0 or not. But again, what a performance by Jonathan Kuminga and Jalen Green. They combined for 45 points yesterday, Mailee, and the veteran Jared Jack, who's been in the NBA for multiple years, also had a really nice game.
Yes, and kind of a little side story, not really story, but more of advice to our viewers. The G League Ignite team is definitely something that is a game changer for NBA, really for men's basketball in general. So I really think our audience needs to really understand this, coming from someone who left school early to Shivam being a basketball analyst. This is a great opportunity for really high school players, and even college players or players that are looking to play in college, because this allows you to really, really step up your game and really, really try and pursue your career at a young age. So if you look at the picture here right now, we have Jonathan Kuminga and Jalen Green, who is my real freshman of the year. Decided to go pro. I can't even blame him. But, these are both 18-year-olds. I know Jalen Green just turned 19. But you got to think, these are young athletes who are really focused on their career, really focused on making it big in their career, and really taking the game of basketball serious. And for our viewers and some of our viewers who don't really understand, it's a job. It's something that is everyday commitment, trust, and sacrifice. I think that's probably the biggest thing is sacrifice. So you think of those young kids right there that we just saw, they're sacrificing family time. They're sacrificing with their friends. They're sacrificing, almost everything for the game of basketball, because that's how bad they want it. And I know, Shivam, we talk all the time outside of the show, but the G League is something I've even told Shivam I want to implement this into our show as much as possible, because it's a great opportunity. I'm really sad that they don't have the W League or, whatever they want to call it,
They need to, Mailee. It's past due.
Right. And I get the business part, and the political part, there's more to it. And it's understandable, but it's not. But I'm not going to get into that right now. But this is a real huge opportunity for male basketball players to really step it up and really have the opportunity to not have to go overseas, but to have this, opportunity for the G League Select team. which really kudos to Adam Silver for allowing veterans to be on the team and mold those young players. Because when I saw them, this is just my input on it, when they played against Santa Cruz and Jeremy Lin, Jeremy Lin, yeah, there's a whole backstory why I'm really excited to see him play. But when we saw them play, they don't really know how to play basketball. I'm not saying that they're not talented, nothing like that. Really excited to see them play. But you see that they just want to get it and go dunk. I saw Jalen Green, who, like I said, is my real freshman of the year, but he decided to go play pro. That's all right. But, you see that he tries to do all this one-on-one stuff against not really a veteran G League player, but someone who's, been in the game for a while, and that wasn't working. They're learning how to play basketball because they're coming off high school or, prep school where the team is just all around them, and that's great. That's definitely great because that's how they got their game out. That's how they got seen. But now they have to play basketball. And that's where I feel that they need to be molded by those veteran G League players that are there, or even those veteran NBA players that are there to help them.
I agree, Mailee. Everything you said was just right on. This is, you were actually hit it right on the money. And this, this G League team, not only, teaches them how to be professionals on the court, but professionals off the court, how to eat right, how to sleep right, or how to get enough sleep, how to, put good nutrition in your body. It teaches you how the business side of basketball. They bring in a lot of former players and ex-players through Zoom, of course, kind of telling them about the NBA, what to expect. So when these guys come to the NBA, they'll kind of know already and be able to hit the ground running, rather than, having to make that adjustment from bad college habits to now you having to play a lot more games, and games coming out much faster. So I think it's a great program. Brian Shaw is a veteran coach. He played with Kobe Bryant multiple years. I think this was his big break, because he couldn't really get any other NBA coaching jobs. So he was like, let me take advantage and use this G League opportunity. And he's a great mentor for them. So I think just an all-around great team. And they're proving people wrong, Mailee. In the last broadcast, they were talking about the commentators when they were playing the OKC Blue. There was a GM that told the commentators that I don't think this G League select team is even going to win a game or even be competitive in this bubble, because they're playing against, they said that. And that took the commentators by shock. But hey, they're proving them wrong. They're 2-0, Mailee. They're playing right now, like I said, and, they have a great chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and, the GM, he's not too far off, okay? They are going to win some games, okay? Yeah. Let's just state that, okay? They are going to win some games. But I definitely can understand where he's coming from, because when I saw them play Santa Cruz and they had this big lead, first, second, third quarter, and then you see fourth quarter, the Santa Cruz team is starting to come back.
Yeah.
And that just comes from, do you get too content with the game that you still don't put your foot heavy on the gas, or are you just putting on the brakes and we got this game made? That comes with a lot of just, knowing how to play basketball. I'm not saying I know it all. Trust me, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying I've had a good amount of experience at a young age to where I was put through adversity, of course, by the one and only Coach DJ, the shot doctor. Yes, so much adversity by him that I'm able to understand a lot of things. And as a player, I'm able to understand, what they're going through and what the game is like. So I don't agree too much of what the GM said, but I can kind of see where he's coming from, because I even said, you had this big lead and you lose it, 30, 25 plus points. I mean, how, you have so much more in the game. This is not time for celebrating. I tell all my clients that I train, my teammates, even some coaches, I'm not going to celebrate until that last horn is off.
Right. And you see the double zeros, and the game is over. Yeah.
Sometimes by then, I'm just too tired to celebrate. Give it all I had in the game. But, you definitely don't want to get too content with the game. Even if you have a big lead, even if you're up by 40, even if you're down by 40, you still have to finish until the final horn goes off.
Right. You can't get too high. You can't get too low. The game of basketball, Mailee, is 48 minutes, at least for the NBA. There's a lot of ebbs and flows. There's a lot of runs by different teams. You're going to hit adversity. So I think these guys are learning from a young age. And you can just tell, Mailee, they're just happy to play basketball, because there was a big question about whether this bubble is going to happen. And if this bubble didn't happen, this GMs will get no access to these players, the Jonathan Kumingas, the Jalen Greens, because they've literally been in Walnut Creek, California, in a closed bubble, just practicing and scrimmaging. So this GLeague Bubble gives them an opportunity to every single game is on ESPN, Mailee, ESPN Family and Network. So they're on the national stage with all the GMs, I'm sure, and all the scouts are in the bubble, scouting them, taking notes. How do they interact with their teammates? How are they on the court? How are they off the court? How are they with their coaches? How is their body language? And it was very impressive. Jonathan Kuminga had a better first game than Jalen Green. Jalen was a little bit, forcing too many things. But you saw they made the adjustments. And then against the Oklahoma City Blue G League team, Jonathan Kuminga and Jalen Green combined for 45 points. Kuminga had 25. Jalen had 21. And they were just playing off one another, Mailee, and the defense had no answers.
They were. I think Jalen Green had a very nice dunk. And I'm only going to mention this one. I'm not like Shivam, where Greg Brown does like one good dunk and I like blow it up. Or like Luka Garza has like a 35-point game and then he's sending me the stats. He's supposed to. They're playing against a bunch of
I don't do that, Mailee. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh, you guys should see my phone, my business phone. All I get is, oh, look what Greg Brown did. But anyway, Jalen Green, he had a really good play the first game, and I even had to do some rewinding and sit back on the couch. I said, did he really just do that? Barely 19-year-old. But really, all I have to say is this G League Ignite team is a great opportunity for male basketball players in high school and players looking to play in college. I think if they're already in college, like I've always said, you're playing against a bunch of amateurs,
Well, that's true.
Playing against pros, where it's a livelihood, where they have a family or they're providing for their family. It's a little bit different. The motivation is a little bit different. Whenever there's money, their motivation is just a little bit different, not just in basketball, but in business, in life. When there's money, the motivation is definitely different. So when you play against college players that aren't getting paid for it, when he compares Luka Garza and Greg Brown, for the love of God, say, oh, look what they did.
Oh, man. She's starting early, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my gosh, against amateurs. So anyway, that's just what I'm saying. But this is a great opportunity. And Shivam, I know our show is going to go into definitely more in depth and dissecting the G League Select Team, the Ignite Select Team, because it's just a great opportunity. I mean, that's why I love it so much. And you guys, I didn't know about this until Shivam told me. And when he told me, I got off the phone and I just researched.
Yeah, she was fast.
This is really great, and it really puts the European basketball leagues all over Europe on notice, because now they're taking some of that American market, and they're keeping them here at home, if you would call it, So I think it's a really great opportunity, and for those players in high school looking to play in college, you really have to step it up now, because now you have no excuse, And everybody said, "Oh, school's not for me. Is this, and this, and this?" Okay, if that's what it is, don't talk about it. Be about it. You really feel like that, and you really feel like this school stuff is not for you because you want to go pursue your dreams in basketball, this is your time to shine, So I didn't, Shivam, this is why I go off so much about it, because I just don't understand when players, they come into my dad's gym and they're like, oh, I want to play here, I want to play there, I'm trying to go here, I'm trying to go there. But then they work on their game 5 times a week,
Mailee, you bring a different perspective, being a professional yourself, having trained the one and only shot doctor since you were practically born. So you bring a different perspective, Mailee. But let's also talk about the Austin Spurs. Let's give them some love also, Mailee.
Sorry, the Ignite team is just no. But go ahead, Shivam.
No, they're the headline team. Don't get me wrong. They got all the stars. They got everybody. They're the star-studded team. But the Austin Spurs are 3-0, ladies and gentlemen. They're one of the best teams in the bubble. Trey Jones, their draft pick from Duke. He had a nice dunk. I didn't think he's going to dunk, but he's really explosive player who could get to the basket, get his own shot. Luka Samanic, the Spurs first-round pick from Croatia 2 years ago. He's been really balling out in the bubble, or the gubble, I should say. He's been, a great stretch 4. He can put the ball on the floor. He has great ball handling ability. And then Reynolds also, he's been playing well. So the Spurs G League team, Mailee, they have some talent on that team.
Oh, for sure, and definitely the player out of Duke. I'm sorry, I forgot his last name, but Trey.
Trey Jones.
Yeah, he is, really good player, and him being in the G League is really prepping him for the Spurs. Really hoping he, eventually signs a contract with the NBA Spurs team. But really good and giving him time to develop, into the NBA system, into playing against professionals, not amateurs. Okay. Anyway, I don't want to get
throwing that out there. No, she's right. She's right, exactly, because Trey Jones, he. Oh, we have a fan saying, "Mailee, love your outfit." So yeah, Mailee.
Oh, thank you so much, and happy birthday, by the way. Oh my God, I won't give you any flowers, but thank you so much. Happy birthday. I hope it was great.
Oh, thank you. So, exactly. So yeah, Trey Jones, was playing at the highest level, at Duke. Yeah. He going against some of the best competition, but I thought he should have been a first-round pick, Mailee, but he fell in a good situation with the Spurs. He's a second-round pick. His brother Tyus is playing for the Memphis Grizzlies. So when they played against each other a couple of weeks ago, it was the first brother combination to play on a court at the same time in NBA history. So that was a kind of a sweet kind of story. But Spurs are doing very well, Mailee, and so we'll see how they look going forward.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
All right, Mailee, let's move on to our college basketball segment. So we have some interesting games to talk. I know Mailee's been chomping at the bit, and she's already mentioned Greg Brown and Luka Garza a couple of times, but we're going to start with the women's side first, Mailee. UConn ended up having a nice win against Georgetown, and Paige Beckers, Mailee, she's a freshman, but she's
killing it. She really is killing it.
She's the best player in the country. I don't know, Mailee. What do you think?
Oh my goodness, she's really solid. That was definitely one of my predictions before the season started.
We agreed on that, actually.
Yeah, that's the one we agreed on, because when I saw her play in high school, one thing that stood out for me is her passing. Her passing is to the spot, not to the hands, and that's really important. As a point guard, if you're not a point guard and you just said, "Oh no, Mailee, that doesn't make any sense," but you're not a point guard. Point guard, you're gonna understand a little bit more of what I'm saying. But she's a really phenomenal player, has solid jump shot, and one thing about her, she can go to the basket. She's got the mid-range pull-up.
Yeah.
And it's a three. So whenever you go against somebody who has all those three offensive threats, that's really scary and really, really kind of bad for you if you have to defend.
That's bad news for the defense.
It's definitely defendable, but at some point in time, she is going to get her points each game. She's going to get stats each game, but she's really, really fun to watch and really, really exciting player.
She really is, and she hit a game winner a couple weeks ago. That was really nice. She's basically been carrying that UConn team on her back. There's a lot of great players. I don't want you to think that Paige Beckers is the only great player at UConn. Yes. She's not, but she's a great leader, and you can see that they trust her, Mailee. Like they give her the ball in situations towards the end of the game because they know she'll make the right decision. But also Christian Williams is also playing really well. They're a great guard combination, Mailee. They're both physical guards that can attack downhill, get to the foul line, score from the mid-range, score from three. They're not afraid to, feed the ball to their teammates. Paige Beckers specifically does a great job of beating her defender off the dribble with either between the legs or crossover, forcing the defense to collapse, and then she kicks it out to her wide open shooters, and they're going to make it most of the time. And she's had some pretty sick passes, and she knows to find balance when for her to be aggressive and get her own shots, and when to defer to her teammates. That's the most impressive part of her game.
Yeah, she really makes that team go. And of course, there's other aspects to the UConn offensive threat and defensive threat, as well. But she really makes that team go.
And they have 27 assists. They out-rebounded Georgetown. They played stifling defense, as Mailee rightly said. And it was just a great overall win by UConn, who was the number 3 team in the country. Or number 2 team in the country, excuse me. But let's talk about the number 3 team in the country, Mailee, the Louisville women's basketball team. And they also, had a very nice win against Georgia Tech. Dana Williams had an awesome game. Kiana Williams also contributed well from the guard position, Mailee. And this Louisville team, they have, big guards that like to go downhill. They can shoot it. But they really pride themselves on the defensive end and really shutting down the opponent.
Yes, and a team that has a defensive mindset is always going to go far, no matter what. No matter what the ranking is, no matter what anything is. But if you're defensive minded, you're definitely going to go far. And Louisville, to me, has been really quiet this year. They've just been making a lot of noise under the wraps. But when you look at their rankings, you're like, what? You know,
exactly.
You know, but being defensive minded, you know, that's just what you do. You're not really worried about your offense. You're not really worried about, ooh, how am I going to get around her? How am I going to have, you know, the highlight of the year or anything like that? You just focus on solid, hard defense.
And don't get me wrong, you know, they can also score on the offensive end, but their defense dictates their offense. You know, they can make teams turn the ball over, get easy transition baskets. They've had games where they shot crazy hot from three, and they haven't put the full game together yet. But if they can continue to play well on the defensive end and have a great offensive performance, this team is going to be really hard to beat and really scary to watch coming in March Madness, which, ladies and gentlemen, it's only a couple weeks away. Selection Sunday is March 14th, Mailee. So, but I think the three best teams, they really separated themselves in women's college basketball. It has to be, of course, number one, South Carolina, who's playing a little bit better than UConn right now. Number two, UConn, and number three, Louisville. But Mailee, as a plug for San Antonio, they announced that the Final Four was already going to be in San Antonio, but they announced the entire women's NCAA tournament, the round of 64, all the way to the championship game, is going to be held in San Antonio, Texas, and surrounding areas. So we're excited about that. All the teams are going to be housed downtown. They're going to play all over San Antonio, even maybe a game in San Marcos and Austin also. But that's so exciting for San Antonio. It's going to help you. It's going to help the economy here. It's going to bring great basketball. There's a lot of great, you know, teams to watch, Mailee. It's going to bring some of the best college basketball players on the women's side to the Alamo City, Mailee.
Right. Yeah. I'm really excited. Definitely wanted to see Kyra there. Shout out to Kyra.
Yeah, shout out to Kyra. Welcome.
She'll be there. But, you know, she gets to play at home, so that's even more exciting. But to have the game here in San Antonio, that's just awesome. Always good to have basketball here, you know, whether it's NBA, G League, college, amateur. I'm just kidding. But that's our next session. That's our next session. So I'm going to get there. But you know, I'm really excited for it to be in San Antonio. Like you said, it's going to help the economy. 2020 was rough, but it's 2021, year of the ox. So this is going to be great.
Right, and ladies and gentlemen, watch out because in March, in the first couple of weeks of March, we're going to be doing a special college basketball, show here, and we're going to have like special, contests where filling out your bracket, you can compare it with me and Mailee's, and we'll have some fun college basketball contests to get everybody pumped up for our favorite time of the year, which is March Madness. And Mailee, it's fully basketball season now. Football's over, so we're in NBA. WNBA is going to start soon. Women's and men's college basketball. But Mailee, let's move on to some men's college basketball. Texas versus TCU.
Yes.
Is on.
Goodness, Shivam, I've been waiting for this. Okay, is that Greg Brown?
Yes, that's the phenom, the freshman phenom, Greg Brown, ladies and gentlemen. Texas is on a 2-game winning streak after going winless before in 2021. But Greg Brown had a nice game today, 13 points, 6 rebounds. He started off 3 for 3 from 3. And Mailee, if you notice the last 2 games, he's been 7 of 8 from 3-point range. So he's been scorching hot from 3. Before the beginning of the season, he couldn't even buy a 3-point basket. So great overall game from UT. Andrew Jones also had 19 points. And UT is slowly getting their legs back together. They were on such a roll before COVID struck the team, and they had a bunch of, even their head coach was out and a bunch of players. But they now have their full team healthy, Mailee, and they're on a 2-game winning streak. So I'll take that against against Big 12 Conference is one of the best conferences in college basketball, Mailee, and they beat a really good TCU team today.
Really good TCU.
Yeah, they're a winning record, Mailee.
All right. Well, here's what I have to say, and I all day. Yes, all day. So Shivam was talking to me, of course, off the show, about Greg Brown's little attitude problem, huh?
Oh
yeah, you mentioned about his technical fouls. You don't want So I think he told me on accident, because when he told me he got his 3rd one.
Second, he has two. So I missed
two. Okay, sorry, 2. But he still should have 0 if he's trying to be freshman of the year. I mean, have 0. So having 2 technical fouls already. Now, I did agree with Shivam. One of them was kind of petty. Okay.
Oh my God. Yeah.
One of them was kind of petty, and you definitely.
What happened, Mailee? Explain to the audience what the first technical foul was and what happened.
It was the one where he dunked and then looked at the guy, right?
Yes.
That's not the first one or the second one?
That was the first one.
That was the first one. Okay. So that one's the one I feel that was kind of petty. You're just competing, and I feel a lot of times Greg Brown, when he dunks, he gets so excited. And you have to know your refs, not necessarily knowing your personnel, but some refs are just so petty. Some refs are just like, he's just competing. And at the end of the day, I felt like, Greg Brown is just competing. But still,
that's the nicest thing she said. Wow.
He gets a technical foul almost every game. So if I'm a player, I'm a defensive player going against Greg Brown, okay, I'm just going to get in his head. If he has a technical foul momentum going on, I'm just going to get in his head, And you can't even see my favorite coach, Coach Calipari, my favorite college coach. Coach Calipari said, freshmen, if you say, oh, they're freshmen, they're inexperienced.
They're not freshmen anymore, Mailee. It's the second semester. They're not.
You don't even say that. You don't even say that freshman part, or you don't even blame it on being a freshman, just because, you're here to play basketball. And so Greg Brown getting these technical fouls, even though I do agree the first one was kind of petty, but getting these technical fouls, I'm just going to get in his head. And for the record, I'm not saying Greg Brown is not talented. I'm not saying that. He's a very, very talented player. I just don't agree with Shivam when he says that he's freshman of the year. That's the only thing I agree with. Okay. Mailee, you decided just to declare and go play. I mean, you can't blame him, okay? And then I chose another one, and then I'm just like, you know what? Do you guys want to hoop or not? I mean, what is this? Instead of getting technical fouls all the time. And then wait. Before you get started, I don't mean to cut you off. But then he talks about, she wants to be all these videos. Oh, look, he got a dunk. Oh, look, he got a charge. It's basketball. He's supposed to, Shivam.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, Mailee made some good points there, like not blaming him for the first technical foul. Yes, he should know better, but it was soft. That ref should not have called.
That's pretty petty.
But the second technical foul against Kansas State, Mailee, you have no argument from me here. He just got mad. He just got mad about a call. He felt like the ref called a reach and foul on him. He didn't think it was a reach and foul. He was very demonstrative at the ref, and the ref's like, I'm not taking that anymore. And you know what's worse about a technical foul in college, Mailee? So first of all, before that technical foul, he had 2 fouls, right? So of course the foul that they called was 3, but a technical foul in college is a foul, okay? They count that as a foul, and you get 2 shots. So he had 4 fouls, 1 from fouling out. So that took him out of the game. You could just see he was frustrated. But on Shaka Smart's radio interview, he does a radio interview every Thursday morning. He had special guest Greg Brown on it. I was going to send this to Mailee, but I was like, let me just talk about it. Let me just talk about it on the show.
Videos. I mean, geez.
So Shaka kind of made a joke to Greg. He's like, okay, Greg, do I get your commitment here? No more technical fouls for the rest of the season? Greg was like, yes, coach. No more technical fouls. And so he really composed himself, Mailee, well today. And when he plays with his head free, he's an energy guy. Every time he makes a shot, you just see him.
Yes, I agree with that. He
claps on the bench, Mailee. He high-fives his teammates. He's a very animated. If you watch his face, next time you watch a UT game, ladies and gentlemen, watch his facial expressions and just watch Greg Brown. They can put a camera on Greg Brown. You'll see how animated he is during the game, which I like that as a freshman.
No, he does play with energy. I definitely do agree with that. But now it's just controlling that energy.
Exactly right. Mailee didn't hate too much today. So we're going in
I know. I just wanted to point that out, that it's so easy to get in his head.
Well, no, he made a commitment to his coach, no more technical fouls, so he'll do no more technical fouls. And remember, like, share, and subscribe to the Patel Pick and Roll Sports Facebook channel. And you can watch this episode live and on demand on Patel Pick and Roll Sports YouTube, Mailee Jones Facebook, and Shooting for Success Facebook. And if you have in the comments, is Greg Brown, freshman of the year? Is he a great player or not?
He's a great player, not freshman.
Comment section below, and we're going to be talking about shoes. So let's hear. I'm excited to hear everybody's favorite shoes. But before we can get to the lifestyle and culture section, one more game we got to talk about, Mailee. Iowa against Michigan State. Okay, I got to admit, guys, it's tough. Luka Garza had his worst game of the season, 8 points, 6 rebounds, okay? Sorry. But Mailee, his team still won by 30 points, 88-58 against a really high-quality Michigan State team. And, you know, that shows you that Iowa's maybe turning the corner, that they're not as Luka-centric as you think they are, you know? So they have a great all-around team, Mailee.
Well, I mean, you know, when you win by that much, Luka Garza's stats is a little bit understandable. I feel, you know, because there's no need for him to play if you're seeing that you're clearly going to win the game. So, you know, Shivam, I'm not so hard on him today. You know, I feel he should have declared last year. But, you know, that's just me. You know, that's just what I think. I'm not saying I know it all. Trust me, I don't. I'm still learning.
And I don't either. So,
but I feel, you know, when you're up by that much and coaches still have you in the game, especially when you're considered the best player, it's just time for you to sit down. I mean, you got a long season.
Time for you to go to the plane.
You know, so those stats are definitely understandable. Now, if he had those stats and they lost, by all means, he's sorry.
Oh, I would, Mailee, as much as I love him, if he had those stats and they lost, I would kill him I would, you know, I'm a dejected fan.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, Shivam.
But
you know,
I mean, like, I would roast him. That's what I meant. Like, I would roast him on the show.
You would roast him. Okay, yeah.
That's what I meant by, like, I would roast him on the show.
You would be like me when it comes to Greg Brown.
I would pull on Mailee. It would be Mailee.
You would just go off. You would go.
But Mailee, Iowa's defense, before I know we're about to get to lifestyle and culture, there's one more point I got to make. Iowa's defense holding a high potent Michigan State offense to 58 points. We got to ask ourselves, is this the norm, or were Michigan State just missing shots and they got lucky? We'll see down the stretch.
Michigan State, I can already give you the answer.
Okay, well, we'll see, Mailee. But the balanced scoring was really, you know, was very on display. Wieskamp, McCaffrey, Keenan Murray, you know, Bohannon. It was a great all-around effort. And that's what you do. When your best player struggles, as role players, you have to pick him up. And, you know, and even the coach said that, you know, Luka didn't have his best game, but, you know, we still won. And that's all that the object of the game is not stats, Mailee, is to win the basketball game. And that's what they did.
True.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to our lifestyle and culture section. So let's play the little pre. So, Mailee, we're going to be talking about basketball shoes today. So, both me and Mailee are going to show our favorite basketball shoes. After that, we're going to be talking about some new basketball shoes that are coming out. So, let's go with Mailee first. Ladies first. So, Mailee, go ahead and show your favorite basketball shoes.
Yes, before we show, just want to say, you guys, at the end, who has the best shoe game, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So Shivam tried to give me a preview of his shoes before we went live, and I was like, okay. But anyway, I think I'm going to win, but you guys let us know in the comments, or after the show's over, please let us know in the comments who won. I think I'm going to win. I'm going
to win. Like I win the Luka Garza, Greg Brown debates, I'm going to win.
Okay, anyway. Well, here's my first shoe. It is the New Balance. I'm gonna say here's where I can get really wrong because I don't know names. I just know like the style. I'm like, oh my god, I have those in yellow too. These are my favorite. These are the most comfortable shoes I've really ever played with. And New Balance, you guys did a really good job. For those who think that New Balance is known for running shoes, they are not. Okay, so these come in different colors. These are high tops. They're my favorite. They're really comfortable. One thing I really like about these, they're really easy to break into. So I know when you get like a new pair of shoes, they're really difficult to break into. Yeah. And that's a problem I've definitely had. Here's my second pair. These are actually tennis shoes. These are not basketball shoes. But for those who know, when you play tennis, you're moving laterally. So it's kind of thing as a guard, you're doing lateral movements. So these are Rafael Nadal's tennis shoes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, these are really nice.
He's a legend.
Really like this part. It's kind of like that reflector. Kind of reminds me of like the Louis Vuitton bags that they have, the reflecting, ones, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And the inside is kind of a different color. Really nice grip. These are kind of dirty, so I hoop in all of my shoes. But these are really dirty. Really nice grip on the court, especially on real hardwood. But these are definitely one of my favorites. They honestly, they just look real cute. Okay, comfort is not the biggest thing, but they just look real cute. And my last pair, I had to save the best for last. Okay, these are the Nike Adapt. I could get that name wrong, and I'm sorry. So Shivam, these tell you first. They tell you your left foot and your right foot. So I think that's really cool. In case you forget, but you tie them when you press this button. So maybe I have to have a closer. You like press the button and the shoelace. Yeah, the shoelace is cool for you. So it like molds to your foot. So my foot is not in it right now. But it's really cute. These were actually given to me by Bryson Butler, Crystal, and Josh Butler, really, really good friends of ours. They gave these to me as a present, and I love them so much. I actually call these my Bryson shoes because I trained a little kid named Bryson. He's 7 years old. But yeah, you just like press the button and everything, and it like ties. It ties.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty dope. Really cool. I like the color scheme too.
Yeah, you just set them on a little pad or something, and you charge it. So like you guys, like I said, I don't know the names. I just go by like what it is. But those are my Bryson shoes. Those are my top three. So Shivam, let's see what you got.
All right. So for my top shoes, Mailee, by the way, your shoes were all very nice, very cool looking. But for my shoes, I'm gonna do my first shoe is gonna be the Jordans, Mailee. The Jordan Flight Series in blue, black and blue, which are pretty, nice colors together. They go really well. So this is my Jordan Flight shoes. Of course, you get the Jumpman logo, the iconic Jordan.
Yes.
So that's the first one.
Okay.
My second one, the KD 13s, Mailee. Yes, hook 'em. Kevin Durant, one of my favorite players in the NBA. I love the bottom, how the different colors on the bottom, the big Nike symbol. And I think they just look really cool with the white. And these shoes, Mailee, I've never worn. They've not even left my house. They've been inside the entire time. So they're yeah. So that's my second one. Okay. My third one, or the Jordan ones, they called the OGs. I got the low tops. I know the high tops are pretty popular, but I got the low tops. Again, the story is that Jordan wore these once he was drafted in the NBA in 1984. He wore these for all his games. And they said that they weren't the most comfortable. His feet were bleeding at the end, but they're very nice, iconic basketball shoes. And of course, with the red and the white, Jordan. These are just the OGs. And then my last one, Mailee, is again another Jordan one, and these are the Jumpman shoes. So I thought the orange looked kind of cool. They kind of look like UT-ish. So
there you go. See, always UT, always.
So those are my four favorite shoes. And ladies and gentlemen, again in the comments, whose shoes did you like better, me or Mailee? I know you're gonna pick me. Just like so. I would love to hear, what you think. I win the debates in Luka Garza, Greg Brown, and I'm gonna win I'm gonna win these shoes, Mailee.
Okay, yeah. Don't make me laugh too much, Shivam. Okay, don't make me laugh too much. But yes, let us know in the comments who won. Definitely have better shoe game.
No.
I didn't bring up. So see, I called Shivam before the show and I said, Shivam, so how many pairs are you doing? And he said, oh, just like 3 or 4. So I had like 8, 8 ready. So Shivam, I'm actually probably letting you win.
No, okay? Mailee, you have more.
Arsenal.
You have more of a collection. Yeah, I guarantee you that. Yeah, for sure. I'm still building up my collection, Mailee, and I'm still, I started with Jordans, of course, after watching the Last Dance documentary. And come on, who doesn't want a pair of Jordans? The GOAT, Mailee. Right. So yeah, and we have an audience member says both of you have a great collection. So they're not picking favorites, Mailee. So we both. So I'll take that. That's a win for both of us, Mailee.
It is.
So in our last part of this lifestyle and culture section, I just wanted to give you all a little glimpse of all the new shoes that are coming out in 2021. So let's start with, of course, the LeBron 18s were debuted last September after the bubble. But LeBron from the 80s. So now in 2021, he's going out with more different iterations of the LeBron 18s, like different color schemes. And a couple ones came out last week, February 6th. These red ones are the LeBron 18 celebrating Chinese New Year's, Mailee. So of course, with the red color scheme, like Mailee mentioned earlier, the red envelope. So red is kind of the color, for the Chinese New Year. So LeBron is going with that, celebrating the LeBron 18, Chinese New Year. So that's again available. It was available last week. And then the next one, the LeBron Witness 5. And this one is the purple and gold, like the Lakers colors, Mailee, because of course, those of you know he plays for the Lakers now. So those are, those also came out last week in the first week of February. So that's also a new shoe that LeBron debuted it. Of course, it's kind of sick. It looks like the Mamba colors with the purple and the yellow with that Nike symbol, Mailee, and the white. It's a very good looking shoe, a very nice shoe. Everything LeBron comes out with is, is pretty nice. And then the third shoe is the Nike Freak 2s Play for the Future. So those are also new shoes that LeBron came out. Or it wasn't a LeBron shoe, it was a Nike shoe. And it's a different, color schemes. It's more, the blue and green. So it looks pretty striking, Mailee, and it looks pretty sick. So those are also released. And then the last one, so of Nike, for every president, in the history, they come out with their own like presidential shoes. So President Obama came out. They came out with the special President Obama Nike Hyperdunk shoes, which they got sold last week, Mailee. So of course you can see on the tongue the presidential logo, has the white, has the blue, the presidential colors, Mailee, and it just got sold. So that's a new edition shoe that that just came out. And again, we have an audience comment that they're waving. So what's up? Thank you, Fields. Thank you so much for
Thank you for tuning in.
Yes, thank you so much. And Sky is saying shoe games absolutely fire. I know Sky is talking about me. No, I'm just kidding. All jokes aside, Mailee, Sky is talking about both of us. Both of our shoe games are fire. So thank you, Sky, again for watching the show and tuning in.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
So Mailee, let's transition now from shoes to inspiring stories of women in sports. So we have a little preview before we're going to get into it. So Mailee, who are we going to be talking about today in the inspiring stories section?
We're talking about Sarah Thomas, who officiated in the Super Bowl, which is so amazing. I mean, talk about history being made. And for those international viewers who are watching the Super Bowl, is American football, really big here. But we had the female officiate in the Super Bowl, so that was really exciting. I know COVID rules kind of threw everything off. It wasn't as hype, but definitely the commercials were there.
Yeah, the commercials were strong.
Another tradition, for the Super Bowl. It's a really big holiday here in America. But I don't know, Shivam. I was just every time there's a female involved in male sports, or even really in sports, and they're moving up the executive ladder, it's really interesting, and it's really kind of heartwarming, because we get to see history being made, and that women are breaking barriers. So it's really exciting to see.
It really is, and she was the first female to officiate a Super Bowl game. And Sarah Thomas has been around. There's a great article on her about just since a young age. She's always been interested in passionate about playing sports, but realized she couldn't play at the professional level. So she had a passion for officiating. So she went through the training program. She started as an NFL official in 2015. She did her first playoff game in 2019. Of course, in 2021, officiating her first Super Bowl of many Super Bowls, because she's such a high quality ref, Mailee. And before, she was in the NFL. She officiated college games, and she also broke barriers there, broke the glass ceiling. She officiated college games for over a decade. She officiated the first bowl game for a female in college football. So she had a very successful stint there. Went through the NFL training program, certification program, become an official, and became the first female official. And she's going to be the first of many, Mailee, because the NBA already has. The NBA already has a bunch of NBA female refs on the NBA level. So they have like 4 or 5, and which of course is going to be more. So NFL is starting to get there, Mailee, and is starting to have more female representation, a female ref in a largely male sport. And it's just awesome. Sarah Thomas is a great inspiration. She talks about, being a great, role model to her daughter, and her daughter can see her. She even wrote, it was cute. She even wrote her a little note the night before the Super Bowl. I'm so proud of you, Mom, doing all the great things you're doing. So major congratulations to Sarah Thomas.
Yes, just breaking barriers. And, here on the show, we love to see it.
We'd love to see it. And again, congratulations to Sarah Thomas, and she's going to be officiating many more Super Bowls to come. But again, that's going to wrap up our 6th episode of Shivam and Mailee Show, Courtside with Shivam Mailee Show. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. We had a bunch to cover. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Patel Pick and Roll Sports YouTube channel, where again you can see that whole Kelton Johnson interview. And then remember to follow Mailee Jones' Facebook channel and Shooting for Success Facebook channel. And Mailee, again, thank you again so much, everybody, for watching. You can watch this episode on live and on demand. And happy Chinese New Year to everybody. And I hope everybody liked Mailee's outfit. So again, thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Mailee.
Yes, thank you so much, Shivam.
So again, and we'll be back in 2 weeks, and it will be that much closer to March Madness, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we'll give you more news about the Gubble, because the Gubble is going to be going on until about mid-March, and much more NBA news. Let's hope the Spurs continue to play strong. And Mailee is going to have to hear more about Greg Brown and Luka Garza, because unfortunately for her, they're both making the tournament, and they're both going to have long tournament runs, Mailee. So Mailee's shaking her head. But Skies also said Mailee stays drippy with the fits.
Yes, I always will. Thank you so much.
And again, if you missed our introduction earlier, what Mailee's wearing is a Chinese New Year outfit. So kind of tell, if the audience missed it, Mailee, kind of describe your outfit a little bit more before we sign off.
This is a traditional Vietnamese alai. I have all my alais custom made. I design alais and I collect alais. So I'm at about, I would say 10 right now. No, 13. Wow. 13 alais. So yes, I go from Vietnamese style to Oriental style. Always Vietnamese silk. That's definitely my favorite. This is Vietnamese silk. I just had to go with the Louis Vuitton. So thank you so much.
Look. It's a nice look for sure.
Yes. So, yes, I'll be trying to wear them more often as much as I can. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for that comment. I will always stay drippy as much as I can.
Oh, yes, for sure, for sure. And again, I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. You can like, share, and subscribe to the Patel Pick and Roll Sports YouTube channel. Follow Mailee Jones' Facebook channel and Shooting for Success Facebook channel, where you can watch the episodes on live and on demand. And we'll be back in 2 weeks to get more, talk more about the NCAA tournament, which should be, very close to starting, Mailee. But until then, signing out, and everybody have a good night and stay warm.
Yes.